Hello, dear students. Today we'll start the chapter number 8 of our book Hornbill, that is Silk Road, written by Nick Middleton. So, before we start the chapter, let us discuss something about the title of the chapter, that is Silk Road. Now, why the chapter name is Silk Road? Maybe you must have studied in your geography or history somewhere in SST that Silk Road, it was a route between east and west to connect the east and west of the world. We can say it from China to Turkey. So this was known as Silk Road, that way from China to Turkey, in between so many other countries also, that was known as Silk Route. And why it was known as Silk Route? It was known as Silk Route because in earlier days, in ancient time, the China used to produce lot of silk, and this business of silk was done by this. It was basically a business route, a trade route, where the people used to go for trade from one place to another, one corner to another corner of the world. So basically, this chapter is also about something like the writer is going in a place called Mount Kailash. He's going in a journey, and this chapter is a part of a travelogue. Travelogue is when the writers or somebody writes about the uh, travel history or something about traveling, whatever he must have done. So that is known as travelogue. So this chapter is also travelogue, in which writer tells about how he went to Mount Kailash and what happened in between. So let me start it now. There are two main characters in the starting of the chapter. One is the author, who is a professor of geography at Oxford University, and another one is Saturn. Saturn is the owner of the car hired by the author for the journey. So he is also the owner of the car, and he is also guide of the author. So let me start it now. A flawless half moon floated in a perfect blue sky on the morning we said our goodbyes. So the writer says when he started his journey in the morning, a flawless half moon, flawless means perfect half moon, floated in a perfect blue sky, clean blue sky, and there was half moon, perfect half moon. On the morning we said our goodbye. The time was of morning, early in the morning. The sky was also neat and clean, blue sky, and the moon was also very clear, because you must have seen sometime when you get up early in the morning, you can also see moon in the sky. Extended banks of cloud like long French loaves. Now he said extended banks of cloud. You could see the clouds there in the sky, and the clouds were looking like long French loaves. Now loaves, you must have seen the bread, loaves of bread you must have seen. So long French bread is also like that loaf is also like big one, and the clouds were looking like that long French loaves. Glowed pink as the sun emerged to splash the distant mountain tops with a rose tinted blush. So the in the sky he could see the clouds where they were looking like French loaf and of pink color as the sun emerged to splash the distant mountain tops with the rose tinted blush. It was the time of early in the morning. The sun was about to rise, and the mountain tops, they were looking like rose tinted blush. They were looking like rose color, and especially light red, we can say pink color everywhere. It was looking like that. Now that we were leaving Ravu, Lamu said she wanted to give me a farewell present. So as the writer was leaving from there, Lama was a lady there, and she wanted to give him some present, because generally it happens if any guest comes in our house, when he leaves we give present. So same thing was happening here also. One evening I have told her through Daniel that I was heading towards Mount Kailash to complete the Kora. So he remembers the writer that yes, one day through Daniel is the other person who was the uh, traveled part of the time with the author. He was also there with the author. So through him, the writer must have told this lady that I am going to Mount Kailash to complete Kora. Now, what is Kora here? Kora, you can say that you can understand by it, like it is like a pilgrimage. Like we go in Tirth Yatra, we say. When we go to any holy place, we go in pilgrimage. So here the Kora is a Tibetan word. In that language, they say it Kora. And she said that I ought to get some warmer clothes. So she knew that I am going to Mount Kailash, and you know that Mount Kailash is situated in Himalayas and it would be very cold there. So lady suggested that if you are going for Kora, you have to wear some warm clothes. After ducking back into her tent, ducking means quickly going inside and then coming out from her tent, she emerged carrying one of the long sleeved sheepskin coats. So she went inside the tent and she brought one long sleeved sheepskin coats, because sheepskin coat it will be very warm, that all the men wore. If you must have seen in TV or you must have seen in movie, in the this mountain area, hilly area, especially in Tibet side, people wear that long coat. Everybody wears long coat because it is very cold there. So same type of coat she also brought. Saturn sized me up as we clambered into his car. So Saturn, that was driver, he was sized means he was looking at the writer when they climbed to the car. Ah, yes, he declared. Drogba, sir. And he looked at the writer and he said, oh, yes, Drogba, sir. Drogba means shepherd. So he said, yes, you are looking like shepherd. Because especially in this hilly area in Tibet, when we go to Himalayan range, all the people, they wear very warm clothes and they all look like shepherd, because the temperature is very less, it is very cold, it is chilled there because mountains are covered with snow all the time. So people has to wear these type of clothes. So he said, yes, now you are looking like shepherd. We took a shortcut to get off the Changtang. Saturn knew a route that would take us southwest almost directly towards Mount Kailash. So they took a shortcut to go to this place, and this driver also knew a shortcut to reach to Mount Kailash. So we headed. It involved crossing several fairly high mountain passes. So there are so many mountains, so many passes are also there. He said we have to cross so many mountain passes. He said, but no problem, sir. He assured us. If there is no snow, he said we have to cross so many high mountains, but he said no problem, sir. If there is no snow, what was the likelihood of that, I asked. Not knowing, sir, until we get there. He said if there will be no snow, we will reach it. We will reach there properly. But when I asked what is the likelihood, means what can happen, will there be snow or not? He said I don't know. Not knowing, sir, until we get there. I don't know anything until we get in that place. So he was taking them from the shortcut way, and he said if there will be no snow, everything will be go perfect and will reach on time. But when the writer asked what about the snow would be there, he said I don't know, sir. Till we don't get there, I can't tell you anything.